Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugo, todo sa kayod, tunong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiding at tigil.
This is your stop for all things pop. Catch our all-around pop culture geek, Cholo as he throws in some dose of what's poppin' and what's hot in the pop culture scene here on Popcorn. Munch in with us every Thursdays from 4 to 6, only here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
What's poppin', and welcome to Popcorn with Cholo, your stop for all things pop, where we talk about all things pop culture from here in our homes in the Philippines to the rest of the globe and into the Hall of Heroes, as this is our first ever DC-themed episode as we discuss the highlights of the recently concluded DC Fandome event. Welcome to the show, and thanks for listening. And before anything else, let's introduce our co-hosts for the day. Let us welcome back Paula. Hello, Paula.
Hey!
Richard is also here.
What's up?
Emil is here.
Hello.
Welcome back after so long.
It's been a couple of episodes.
It's been a couple of episodes. Yeah. Dren is also here.
Hello.
The non-appearing Dren.
Yeah, mysterious. I'm telling you, I'm just Cholo with a voice changer.
It's my mind, my power. I have like a second voice. Anyway, let us welcome to the show, Francis.
Yay.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for having
joining us.
me.
Welcome.
Super cool. Thank you.
We thought we needed some backup on this topic, so Paula went ahead and invited Francis. So
I hope I make good backup.
It's great
Thank you.
to
Definitely.
talk to you again after so long. And
Years. It's been years.
So ayun, we haven't had an episode where we just talk about random news in a while, I feel. And there was this event called the DC Fandome that just happened August 22nd. It was a 24-hour live stream with some of the biggest names and titles spanning the DC Multiverse. So we're going to be talking more about those news and how we feel about it. And yun, let us begin. Before anything else, I guess let's talk about our feelings on the DC EU, DC Multiverse in general at this point in time, because it's been super, I don't know, iba-iba yung nangyayari for the last 5 years, 10 years. And I don't know, I just want to hear your thoughts about what you feel about it this far before the whole DC Fandome happened. I'll start.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess for me, it's yun nga. I've been feeling a bit mixed about it. There have been really good things to come out of it, like movies like Birds of Prey, for example, Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. That was really good. And Aquaman, I also like. Of course, Wonder Woman and the Arrowverse kind of never really fails to like make me have fun. So those are the things that I've been really enjoying. Pero it hasn't really been coming into anything solid as a whole. So I don't know. I mean, that's why I was kind of skeptic about the whole. Oh, we're gonna have this whole convention, sort of digital convention about DC. Because what are we gonna expect? We don't really know what's happening. So that's on my end. Anyone else on that note?
Well, I've always been more of a Marvel girl than DC. My bed sheets are Marvel right now.
Did you plan that? Was that by design?
No. It's no.
I'm sure that was by design.
No, it's just my bed. I have like two of those. But yeah, so X-Men was my first ever like legit superhero series, but DC, particularly with like the Batman, the campy old Batman movies, were just like how I got into the DC universe growing up. Yeah, because my dad was such a big fan.
Well,
That's
that's
like Adam West, like Adam West, or like
Not that old, grabe naman.
Michael Keaton.
You said your dad.
No, that's
Yeah.
probably George Clooney and Val Kilmer. Probably
It was.
those
That was
Batman.
probably the first one. Like George
The
Clooney
nipple
was my
Batman.
first
With the best
Batman.
nipples and the
The
best.
The nipple
Also,
Batman.
like, because like Poison Ivy and probably like Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman was like one of the first few signs for me that I was like, I think I'm into girls
I'm into
also.
other-
And Robin.
I'm into both
2020.
Robin and Poison Ivy. You know, it was like a good.
Must have been very fun
foray
to watch
into that.
those scenes.
It was. It
It
still
was for me
is,
as well.
right? And
Not so much for Robin, more for Poison Ivy.
Chris O'Donnell's hella hot though. Yeah, and then like animated series for DC, I think has always been better than
Yes.
Marvel.
Yeah.
From the Justice League to all of the
That's what I do
Batman
anyway.
cartoons. Oh, it's true. I mean, like for someone who kind of watches both, I definitely appreciate the DC cartoons a lot more. And when the live series like Arrow and The Flash started coming out, they were fun for like the first few seasons, and then like medyo nawala for me. Like nung dumami na yung mga characters, para it was just getting hard to like keep up with everything. In terms of movies, there was a time where I was like super big on the Nolan trilogy, but then again, like who wasn't super big on the
Yeah.
Nolan trilogy? But like with Batfleck and even Henry Cavill's Man of Steel, I wasn't much of a fan. I don't know why. Like they just didn't have that same charm that, or even like the characters themselves just didn't appeal to me in the same way. Because this is someone who like I'm someone who likes Superman Returns. Like it's a pretty bad movie, but I enjoyed it still because I felt like they still stayed true to who Superman is.
Yes.
And I didn't really feel that for Man of Steel. So I've been genuinely disappointed with DC. Sans films, I guess, like Wonder Woman, and I really enjoyed Shazam as well.
What do you think of Aquaman?
I didn't like it.
I feel like
to be quite
a
honest.
lot of it is also like growing up with DC that was like very light and very like campy. Like even with the cartoon Justice League, cartoon Teen Titans, we grew up with that kind of like DC Comics universe, and coming into like a gritty, dark, whatever Zack Snyder.
I don't
take on
think it's
it.
even
I
the
don't know.
grittiness of it because we like the Nolan Batman.
Yeah.
You know, that made sense to me. And yeah, like the Teen Titans aren't that campy din naman in the comics. So
Yeah.
I don't know, parang
It's
it's
Zack
not
Snyder.
necessarily
It's
like
Zack
a gritty thing.
Snyder.
I think it's a Zack Snyder thing.
It's Zack
Mamaya,
Snyder. It's his
mamaya.
fault.
But yeah, so it's been a while since I've been like really excited for anything DC, sans those movies and the games. Like the Batman games are also
Yes.
Fantastic.
It's so good.
right, and the Harley Quinn TV cartoons are great. But nothing ever to like the level that I get hyped up over a Marvel trailer, for example. So it was nice to have like the fandom because it was a whole dedicated day for DC, and I just was surprised to be very happy with it when it finished. So yeah, but we'll talk more about that later. Who would like to go next?
On next, sino na?
I can go next. Okay, so I'm just a little shy because I don't know when I can come in, being the new guy in the stream.
Jump in.
Okay, well, DC, yeah, I think I definitely come from a very similar sort of background as Paula. I mean, like, I suppose the peak of it for like my fandom was definitely the Nolan trilogy. I mean, it was definitely that for a long time. I mean, it feels sort of like Nolan had his own flavor that, whatever he did for the Batman thing, you could really feel in his other movies that had come after those. So it really felt like the spirit of that sort of gritty Batman was really, you could really feel it from his movies, and that's sort of what you would expect coming from that. So he had a hand in the Superman movies. So I feel like as much as they wanted to come from the success of what he did with Batman, I don't know if that's really the best way to treat Superman. I mean, a lot of people, I mean, they had, sort of some frustration because why is Superman so dark? He's not supposed to be dark. He's supposed to be the opposite of Batman. So I guess that's kind of where they went wrong. If you wanna, if we want to look at it through the lens of like, oh, in hindsight, this is what they did wrong. But I mean, like they're trying to do something different from what Marvel is doing, because a lot of what's happening now, Marvel's really setting the tone, the pace, kind of playing catch up. So they can't just do like campy or like super bright stuff. As much as I'm sure they want to, but like DC has to be different for them to really still stand a chance and like stand out. So that's where they are now. I mean, they're starting to be more successful. Ever since they started to not pay too much attention to like
Zack Snyder. Just kidding.
But they don't use Zack Snyder.
Exactly.
I mean, like they're not making him scapegoat. But I mean, like they were so worried about, oh man, we have to do our own universe. We have to build the universe the same way the MCU is doing it, because we're being left behind the dust. But when they started to not really pay attention as much to that, they started doing better. I mean, Joker obviously was so good. It looks like
we have our thoughts. Paula was like, okay.
Okay. No,
I didn't enjoy it.
So? Oh, well, it wasn't really okay. I have opinions, but
that is a separate discussion.
Yeah.
Mamaya pag Batman yung usapan.
No, but okay. Like to your point, I felt super heavy after Joker, and I'm like, man, I can't watch that again the same week. Like I have to really wait until I can watch that movie again. But I mean, like, for
you watched it more than once?
Calm down, everybody. Calm down.
It's like relax.
I mean, more like you can do it, because I just like because it's so heavy. I can't imagine.
Yeah,
like, watching
definitely. I agree with you. I would watch it more than once though, because I mean, like what they were trying to do, they did well. And they were trying to make a heavy movie, and it was heavy. Are we allowed to swear? I'm trying not to swear. I mean, like it's really heavy. So I don't know. I mean, like I feel like when they're doing their own thing, not paying too much attention to like the format that Marvel is doing, they're doing better. I mean, they're already doing really well. Whatever they've been doing for animated stuff, for example, it's been doing really well. So like it's really just, I suppose, this sort of Hollywood landscape they're like so pressured with, because Marvel's gotten so far ahead of the game. So that's sort of that's where they are now. Because before it was just them, even in the Hollywood sense, because of the Batman movies. But ever since Marvel started taking the spotlight, they're like, oh, okay, they feel like they're doing something wrong. We have to do what they're doing, and it's not working out for them.
But like, do you feel that sense of excitement, like the way that you were excited for the Nolan films whenever a new DC like announcement would come up?
Well, the thing is, it's really just Batman that I look forward to. So the fact that I mean, like Justice League was okay. I mean, it wasn't. I wouldn't say I had a bad time watching it. I mean, it definitely wasn't as good as like this Marvel that I'd see. But like, I really, really like what Batfleck did. I mean, like the fight scene that he has in the warehouse is honestly like, I don't know how any Batman fight scene can top that, unless they do it with, I don't know,
with Rob
more like more CGI villains. As in, that's the thing I feel like Batman still doesn't really have CGI villains. Not that he needs to, but I mean, like seeing like Killer Croc, for example. I think you need to do some CGI for that sort of film. But anyways, I actually do think like the Batfleck was doing really well, so I'm sad to see him not show up anymore. But of course, the new Batman of Robbie Pat looks pretty interesting. Anyway,
Our bat.
yeah, I don't know if I'm staying on the outline. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm jumping ahead. So
Go ahead.
Go lang,
that's
go
fine.
lang.
I feel like I'm just talking. Yeah,
That's how
I
most
think-
of
I
these
think that's
podcasts go.
fair. Oh, okay. So there's no outline. It's just out the window. I'm pretty excited. Okay, so like to answer your question, I'm pretty excited to see what they're gonna do with Batman. Suicide Squad seems interesting, but I feel like I have to sort of wait first. It might be a little too messy. But James Gunn, he knows what he's doing, probably. So let's see.
So, Emil, Richard, Ren, any other thoughts
Magbato-bato
before we,
kayo.
we
Sino
head- before we head to the specific fandom episode?
Pero I think all of us like same
Yeah.
naman. We all started, I'm sure, with the cartoons,
apparently you didn't
with
like
Val
Joker.
Kilmer, the
Sorry.
Michael Keaton, and everything. And then after that, eventually, the Dark Knight trilogy came in, and then all of us were like, "Wow, so this
Oh,
a
Richard, do
superhero
your
movie can be
Bane
like this,
voice.
pala." Oh no, I have the pressure. I can't.
Do it.
No,
I
I
remember
can't do
that
that
voice
now.
really well. You did it all
Right?
the time.
No,
Oh my
before
God.
I actually tried it again recently, and I couldn't do accents like the way I used to.
Oh, no,
But
you're
yeah,
lying.
so not now.
Sample lang, samples. Ganun.
You're
No,
lying.
legit. I can't do it. I can't do it as well as I did before.
Sige, after
But-
the podcast na lang.
Sabi
Yeah,
nga-
yeah. Pag wala
Turn
ng
off
pressure. When
your
it's not
video,
recording.
could
Sabi
you
nga
When
sa
it's not
teaser ng
recording.
Batman,
Oh
stop the
man,
light.
Cholo, just say like, okay, we're done recording, and then like, just
Yeah.
Just trick Richard.
But yeah, I mean, so far nothing has beaten the Dark Knight trilogy for me, and I'm looking. I have high expectations, naman, with what they're doing with the new Batman, and ayun, yeah.
Probably an unpopular opinion, but I think that objectively, my enjoyment of what they did with the Joaquin Phoenix Joker matches my enjoyment of Nolan's Batman.
Wow.
Probably. I mean, like, I didn't feel as good coming out of the movie. That's the
I'd
biased
hope
side of
so.
me.
Sure.
That's the biased side of me, like, would say, no, nope, I thought pretty bad after I watched that Joker movie. But I mean, in terms of like objectively what they did, honestly,
Yeah, I guess in terms of like
I really liked it.
like in terms of like level of artistic ness.
And the
I guess
portrayal- The portrayal of
same
like,
level.
how
Yeah.
mental illness, it's not just about the person, but also the outside factors.
Yeah.
Super cool. Really touched on really good, really relevant issues, I think. And I mean, I don't really know if Nolan did that. Not that he should, but I mean, that's definitely
Yeah.
something the Joker has going for him.
And we live in a society. We still do. I mean, with everything happening. Ayun.
Society.
You wanted to
Emil,
say
Dren.
Oh, I mean, because my relationship with comic books in general, I don't really have like a super strong, like I didn't really follow the comics of either Marvel, DC, or any other.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like religiously follow like either of these universes. I guess the MCU, I just ended up sort of falling into it, so I feel obliged to watch everything, and I do enjoy. I do
Oh, no.
enjoy them in like most.
Obligation.
Yeah, but I do enjoy like most superhero things that I watch them in. With regards to DC, medyo scattered yung exposure ko. Like I haven't seen a lot of like the older DC movies. I
Yeah.
have not seen any like Arrowverse show pre 2017. Yeah, so medyo scattered lang. So I feel like I'm coming into the whole like this new batch of DC films from a very like audience perspective, I suppose, because I have like no comic knowledge like whatsoever, like very very fundamental lang.
It's okay.
So,
It's just Batman for me.
the same naman, yeah. But yeah, like I guess I'll like share my thoughts on like each thing as we talk about them. Yeah.
Dren?
For me, I have a very strange relationship with DC because I loved it for a very long time in the beginning, and then it kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
And I don't even know, like high school, college, somewhere there. And then after graduating from college, it all kind of came back. So it's strange because I would say that in some ways I have like a good amount of knowledge. Like I've seen most, if not all, of the DC animated movies. But like I haven't read a single. Well, no, that's not true. I haven't read many. What do you call this? Comics, like at all. So my knowledge is really just limited to the shows and the movies. So, but yeah, I think I'm also in a pretty what do you call this? Unpopular opinion that I still very much look forward to pretty much anything that the DCU puts out.
That's true.
Emil knows this because
I do?
no, because like I'll always be like, hey, did you watch the Thing trailer? And you'll be like, no, I don't.
Wait, what? Wait, you're making me sound so bad.
No, but I mean, like that's the popular consensus is like, we'll see, you know.
Oh yeah, and I'm definitely more cynical about it.
Yeah, and I'm always like, no, this is the one, and it's never the one. But in my head, like they'll get it, you know. So I've been
Joker. Is Joker that bad?
No,
we can talk about it later.
We will probably discuss
There
it.
are
Yeah,
thoughts.
we'll get
there
there.
are thoughts.
But the what do you call this? But like the past, God, when did Man of Steel even come out? Like
2013.
2013.
So the
Yeah,
past like
2012,
7 years, I've been like,
Wow.
they're gonna do
College.
it, guys. This is it. This is the one. You know that?
That's true.
You know
I
those-
agree with Dren.
You know those scenes when there's like for example like a character like Rambo's just mowing down the army of the bad guy, and each minion's like, I'm gonna be the guy that shoots Rambo. That's like me. I'm like, this is gonna be the one. I know these are all just extras, but one of them's gonna get him. And I just imagine Rambo as like the MCU, right? Like one of these days they're going to prick MCU, and I think it actually happened with Wonder Woman, where the MCU was like, okay, wait a minute, like we might.
Yeah, well, they did like a female-led superhero
Yeah,
movie
exactly.
first.
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
surprise, Marvel's not perfect. And I feel like this illusion was like shattered for a lot of people. Like, wait,
Interesting.
like there's no colored people in the Marvel, you know, things like
Yeah.
that. So I think maybe my optimism mainly comes from I think that competition is always healthy.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
That's true.
definitely.
Something needs to like rock the boat. And yes, given that DC has swung many times and missed many times, but they try stuff, which I love. So
At least they're trying.
That's
I
true.
mean, it's
Yeah,
really- that's a
Although I
really
read like this article that said that the reason why, particularly the first few Zack Snyder DC films kind of didn't hit the mark, was because Warner Brothers and the DC like comic community, or like the DC Comics, never really planned on coming out with like a DC universe.
yeah.
But because Marvel was doing so well with it, all of the DC fans, because you know how it's like
Yeah.
fraternities that are like fighting each other all the time.
We want that thing.
Right, exactly. So it's that. So there was intense pressure from the fans that they kind of had to do it, rather than it being a
Organic.
well like planned thing like Marvel.
Because it wasn't well planned.
Yeah, exactly.
They chose Zack Snyder to be their Kevin Feige.
They did.
Just like this.
That was the first
Let's
mistake.
get the dude that did 300 to be Kevin Feige.
Hey, I like 300.
Yeah.
300
Sucker
is
Punch then.
probably the
Sucker
only.
Punch then.
Sucker Punch,
I
yeah.
know.
Oh,
Sucker
yeah.
Punch
Let's get the
then.
guy that did Sucker Punch to be Kevin Feige.
Hey, there are a lot of people excited for the Snyder Cut though.
I mean,
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
agree.
I'm one of those people.
I do agree on Paula's point though. Na why does there have to be like some fraternity DC versus Marvel anyway? Like,
But
why can't we just enjoy it?
Because
But the thing
they're
is, like,
fans.
Yeah.
even
I
when
mean-
I was a kid, yeah, like that's existed. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
I don't
it's
know.
a historical thing for some reason. How
Yeah,
the
but
same
like-
way how there's like a Harry Potter versus Lord of the Rings thing, and just
Oh, yeah.
like
That is a thing.
but and Star Wars versus Star Trek, it just happens
Yeah.
for like similar fandoms, I guess.
Pero to me lang, parang the way I view it, of course they have comparison side by side, but like, syempre, on my perspective lang, it's like I just enjoy whatever is put
Yeah.
out and criticize whatever is put out,
Yeah, definitely.
and just like, you know, they're doing their best as well. So, you know, parang, yun lang, I agree with, I'd have to side with Gren, like being positive about the thing.
That's so nice.
Some people just like dissing it for the sake of dissing it sometimes. So, ayun. I guess that leads us to our discussion on the specific reveals and highlights on the DC fandom. I must say though, it's a really well-oiled machine, the whole streaming that happened.
Yes.
But I watched some live, and parang compared to like other streaming events that have happened, I heard SDCC wasn't that like.
Yeah, magulo yung
Organized.
SDCC. Mm-mm.
And then parang I've been seeing na there were apparently like 22 million people tuned into the
Yes.
whole event
I read
for
that
the
also.
24 hours, and I think parang they're seeing it as one of the benchmarks of live stream events.
Yeah.
Modern day, and that's pretty interesting. And ang ganda nga na experience, although yun nga, it's not really on demand. You really have to like tune in and like schedule the time and like because there's a schedule on the website where you can just press schedule and it will go to your digital calendar and say, okay, I'm gonna add the Wonder Woman panel to my schedule, and then parang you can go to the website when your scheduled panels are there, and it was a really seamless experience for me, and it's really fun. Although I had to sleep at some point and just watch the replay.
I was very impressed with you that you stayed up for it.
Well, I
Because
was
I
kind
was
of-
just like, I'll watch all of the trailers in the morning. Like that was just the headspace that I was
Yeah,
in.
that was me as well.
I woke
I was
up
like,
na
why
lang
is there
and then
so much
Paula was
DC
like,
stuff?
"Oh, this Batman
Yeah,
trailer was
same.
really good." I was like, "Oh, I fell asleep because I slept late because of the other panel." Ayun.
Sure.
Pero yeah, it was a really good experience, and they're gonna have another like episode, if you can say that, or like another event in September.
More DC stuff?
Yeah, it's more like into
Just the
DC
same movies.
multiverse.
It's the same event all over again.
Parang
They didn't expect it
there are
the
like
first time.
different rooms where you can watch different DC content for 24 hours. You can go
Ah.
to the DC Fandome website right now and check out what they can offer. And there are other panels that weren't in the Hall of Heroes, like some TV panels, some other movie panels that are gonna be shown on September 12th in some places, September 13th in some places. So let's talk about the main event, which was DC Fandom Hall of Heroes, which happened August 22nd. First was Wonder Woman 1984, which was supposed to be released in June, I believe.
June. Yeah.
And Miss Rona came in and stopped her, and we were given a new trailer, and that is what we're gonna react to right now. I'm just gonna say I'm super excited, of course, still with that whole golden armor, with the whole 80s vibe,
Yeah.
and seeing Cheetah. That's it. I was like, wow, how do they even like show her like in the movie? Because parang before they were still coy about it, and now in this new trailer, they were like, okay, here's Cheetah for you.
Like, fuck it. Here she is. Oh, I'm always excited for Wonder Woman content. Particularly excited that they're bringing back Chris Pine. I don't care how they're bringing him back. As long as he's there, don't really care. Really don't. But yeah, it's always such a joy to see Diana as a character. Because as much as I do have problems with like Gal Gadot as a person, as a person, not as an actress.
Imagine all.
There's that. She really portrays Diana well, like the wonder and like
The woman.
The woman.
the wonder and the woman.
Wow. And the 1984 of it all.
But like she just exudes so much positivity, and that's always just been how Wonder Woman was for me.
Imagine all the people.
Wonder Woman, not Gal Gadot. You have issues with her. So yeah, Cheetah, though, as cool as it was to see her, it's so weird for me because like in my head, Kristen Wiig is still like all of her characters in Saturday Night Live, so it's
That's
hard
true.
for me to like mesh her with who she is now as an
That's
actress.
true.
It just doesn't click as well. But I know she'll do well.
It's a very interesting casting choice to begin with, to get Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, I feel.
I mean, I'm
You-
happy for her.
Have you guys seen Skeleton Twins?
I have not.
No.
That's the movie that made me go like, yeah, she could do this. It was a movie she did with Bill Hader, and it's super depressing. It's just about these two twins who are like extremely depressed, extremely depressed, and just like are trying to figure out like, oh my god, is there like a point to living? It's that kind of movie. And in my head, when I first saw like Bill Hader and Kristen Wiig, but then she's great. Bill
Hader is fantastic.
really
as
good
well.
in it. So when I saw that movie, I was like, oh, she can do this. She's got this. though. Maybe watch it if you want to be assured that she can pull it off, because she really
I mean,
can.
the way that you were describing it, though, is like they're both very depressed, like very mood right
Just
now.
a couple of comedians,
Just
laughing.
No, it's supposed to be like a black comedy. It is very funny when it wants
Oh,
to be.
okay.
all
Really
right,
depressing
all right.
when it wants to be. So they got both down. I don't know what that says, but yeah.
I mean, that's what makes it interesting. And when parang people or actors who are known for their comedy are given these types of roles that you wouldn't
Yeah.
really expect. So that's what I'm looking forward to it, because we've seen Diana, we've seen Steve, we're gonna see Steve
We
again.
need more Steve.
There will be, and I guess it doesn't really matter why he appears. Pero parang there are kind of glimpses of why he's there or how he's there. So we're gonna get to see that, I guess, whenever that time is, when we get to see the movie.
Whenever Wonder
I'm
Woman.
thinking
shows
lang
up.
din na parang, did they make any allusions to, of course they would, to American politics and stuff leading up to the elections, and they won't really be able to release that ahead
I
of the
heard
election?
that's Pedro Pascal is the villain
Actual
here,
lawyer.
right? Yeah, I heard his character was based off Donald Trump, so I think that's something.
It's gonna be very hard for me to
Yeah.
dislike Pedro Pascal, but if
Yeah,
the
right,
description,
Right. So I hear there's going to be a lot of American politics in it also.
that's interesting.
I mean, yeah.
Ayun
But
lang.
yeah.
It's just like, I guess it's gonna release later than they really expected it to be, and we
Yeah.
don't know who's gonna be elected there.
Oh,
God.
Yeah.
They're gonna do an entire rewrite if Biden wins.
recast.
Hi, Lord.
I was just thinking, like, when the first trailer for Wonder Woman 1984 dropped, I was extremely excited. Like, I was so hyped on it. For one reason or another, like the second trailer, I'm a little more nervous. I don't know why. Like, I
Okay.
know a lot of people enjoyed the second trailer more, but I guess it's just because the more I saw that they were trying to put into the movie, like with Cheetah, like actually seeing her, and like more Pedro Pascal stuff and more Chris Pine stuff. Like I've become more uncertain about how they're gonna pull that off. So I don't know. Like I still don't think the trailers have given me enough to really prejudge the movie on, of course. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because they didn't use the song by New Order in this trailer again, which is like my favorite part. Of
Which was
the-
like the whole reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Where-
So I don't know. We'll see. I Wonder Woman, the first one, is still. Is it? I think it's still my favorite DC
Oh, yeah.
movie. So I mean, with
Sorry,
the,
not to say what your favorite is.
despite,
Like, yeah, I know Emil's favorite. Yeah.
Despite like the weaker third act and whatnot, I agree with what Paula
Okay.
said. Na parang the character is like, she gave me what I wanted from Henry Cavill's Superman. Like
Exactly.
I want to look
That's
at her
true.
and feel inspired. So, but yeah, I hope that stays.
And at the time, I feel like a lot of girls really like were empowered talaga by Wonder Woman. The very existence of that movie and Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I guess that was really like a monumental cinematic thing for the modern age. And
Yeah.
that's true, man. It was really
Dude,
nice.
her charging scene, I still think is the best action
It's still,
sequence in
yeah.
a DC movie.
And
Like,
her
recently,
theme
it's
song
the-
is still the best theme
that-
song
Oh,
out of
yeah,
all
her
of the
theme
superheroes
song.
right now.
Dude, when she came out in Batman versus Superman with that song, I was
Yes!
like, whoa.
Yeah.
What?
I was like,
What?
whoa. Yeah,
So
I didn't think
good.
Wonder Woman can make me feel like that. So I'm it's nice to see Gal Gadot take on the lasso again.
Okay. Any
my-
other last thoughts, Dren?
there are a few things that make me really excited about the second Wonder Woman movie. One is that Patty Jenkins is on as a producer as well
Yes.
now, as a writer and director, which means like so much for the movie, because like,
More fun.
you know, in movies, the people that usually say you can't do that are usually the producers. So now she's like, I can do it because I'm giving the money for this movie. So that helps a lot, and I think that had a lot to do with the aesthetic of the movie, also how like bright it is. And how do I put this? I think like getting Patty Jenkins to do Wonder Woman was such a smart. It was like the saving grace for the first phase of the DCEU. Like everything was just
Absolutely.
not good. Like it was just, oh my god, what is happening? And I think they kind of did what Marvel did in their first phase, where they were casting these people that were known for certain roles that were just, how do I put this, just unknown enough for you to be like, huh, he's gonna be a superhero, but also known enough for you to be like, I know that guy. Like, I think that's where all of them were before the MCU was, like Chris Evans, all of them. And at the same time, they all kind of embodied their characters without really trying, right, in the MCU, and they used that in their marketing, and they wrote it into the movies also. Like, RDJ was like a recovering addict in real life when he played Iron Man. Chris Evans is just kind of like the super nice guy in
Human
real
Torch.
life, you know.
It's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
perfect.
Right, and
He's
then
everything.
and you know, I think they kind of did that also with by casting Henry Cavill and you know, and the other actors in the DCU, most of them, because they all got, you know, they all have some kind of connection to, like, Henry Cavill's a nerd. You guys, I'm sure you guys have seen that
Oh,
video of him building a computer, which is
so
like,
hot.
okay, you
So
know,
hot.
but
build a
they
computer.
didn't write it into his character. They made him the super, and I'm sure we'll talk about this more later, but they made him the super sad, depressing Superman
Yeah.
instead of like this bumbling, you know. It's kind of it. What I find really attractive about Superman is that he just wants to be human when everyone else wants to be him.
Yeah.
So, and they didn't put that into his character at all. And I think they could have, because he's like this massive nerd. But with Wonder Woman, you know, they talked about like how Gal Gadot trained with the Israeli army and everything like that. So in my head, she is, you know, Wonder Woman in a lot of ways. At least, especially in the beginning when all of the, you know, not so good stuff came out about her. But especially in the beginning when we didn't really know that much about her,
Yeah.
in my head,
Agree.
Gal Gadot was Wonder Woman, and I think that was so smart. So I think they're playing more into that now also by casting like somebody like Kristen Wiig. It's like, I know her, but how's she gonna be Cheetah? So for me, my excitement comes more of like, oh my god, it feels like they actually know what they're freaking doing now. It
Exactly.
feels like they're thinking about what they're doing instead of just like, let's make a Superman movie.
Yeah.
So
No, agree. I think like you mentioned it, how they Marvel really understood where their characters were, and integrated that really well with their actors. I think why a lot of the DC movies failed is because they failed to understand the core of the characters that they were using. So I'm happy to see more of that, like to see Wonder Woman, and actually even Shazam, who I think like did really well in terms of bringing out that whole like young, fresh vibe that Shazam as a character really did have. So yeah, super excited for Wonder Woman.
Yes, we hope we see it this year.
Not gonna
Everyone,
happen.
everyone
Not
hopes.
in theaters, guys.
We're not gonna see it. Yeah.
yeah,
That's sad.
it's like how God,
Well,
Tenet came out.
Yeah,
and-
it's out, right?
and people in America are watching were just like,
New Mutants
That's
comes out
Squidward
tomorrow.
Mutants, congratulations to your release after being in hell
you did
for
it.
so long.
But then, like, the
You're
director
proud.
comes out with like this super racist comment right as
Yeah,
his
and
film
I'm
is
just like, oh
coming
my God.
out.
Why?
Mm,
Congrats.
yeah.
In any
May
case,
curse talaga yung New
Anyways,
Mutants. And Mulan has been moved to the streaming
Whatever.
platform.
who cares?
So we'll see how that goes when it comes out next.
Free Hong Kong.
So now we head to the next movie coming out next year, hopefully next year, which is The Suicide Squad. It's one of the more intriguing releases for me, since it's a soft reboot / sequel of Suicide Squad, which came out in
just a
2017.
few years ago.
And of course, James Gunn is at the helm of the movie after the whole Marvel fiasco happened, and Twitter is calling him out for like a 10-year-old tweet or something. And DC got the chance to like give him this franchise, and I feel like he's gonna like really put really great energy into this. He says in that DC Fandome panel that it's the most fun he's ever had making a film and being in with the cast, which is like, wow, what are you trying to say here?
Yeah.
I know,
I'm
right?
sorry,
Like,
Guardians.
what was wrong with the Guardians?
But I feel like, I don't know, is it like something he was told to say because people know him from Marvel, or is it really that much fun? Or I don't know. It's pretty interesting how he puts that fun that we know him for into a DC film instead. And apparently, they got the effects guy that did a lot of Marvel movies and said that this has more explosions and CGI and stuff combined
Okay.
against
It is
those Marvel
Suicide
movies. So I don't
Squad.
know. So it's pretty interesting, and the main event with this panel was the behind the scenes look into the film, and of course the reveal of who who is playing who with that big cast. Of course, returning is Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. We love her. She's the fourth. They call her the fourth pillar of the DC universe now, apparently.
Wow.
I mean, after the Trinity, ata si Harley Quinn na yung one of the more famous ones at the moment.
Definitely, I would think so.
And we've really seen Margot really shine as Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad, the first one, and of course her own movie that was really great. So I'm excited to see this new take on Harley, na black and red naman siya this time around compared to the bubblegum color she had before. Of course, also returning is Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag, Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang, and Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. But ito na, let's go ahead, I guess, to the other people because this kind of like, who are they gonna be? That was a big question after they revealed the cast. I think that was late last year. Just some of those people. Idris Elba as Bloodsport. Actually, a lot of these people I'm not super familiar with these characters. John Cena as Peacemaker. Nathan Fillion as TDK. What does that even mean?
The Dark Knight.
Not the Dark Knight. Exactly.
Oh
Secretly
my
Batman.
god!
Surprise!
Brain. Of course, there are also some James Gunn faves in this film, such as Michael Rooker
Michael
as the
Rooker.
Hunt, Sean Gunn as Weasel. He plays another rodent in this movie.
Yeah, Sean Gunn.
And of course,
Just a thing.
one of my favorite doctors, Peter Capaldi.
Peter Capaldi!
And parang Sino Thinker lang yata yung kilala kong like obscure character because of the Flash references. Flula Borg is also here as Javelin.
Yeah.
Other characters revealed are King Shark.
Yeah.
I love King Shark.
Yes.
Yeah, Harley
Uh,
Quinn, King Shark.
Yes.
Polka Dot Man.
Harley Quinn, King Shark.
Yes. Ratcatcher 2, which is like I guess the daughter
The
or
second.
a related.
So there was like a
person.
Ratcatcher
Who's
one?
Ratcatcher 1?
Also, of all the names you could like name yourself as a superhero, why would you go with Ratcatcher? Is
Well,
that
there's a
They
polka
catch
dot
rats.
man. so-
Mongol,
That's an
Black
exterminator.
and Soul Sorry are also here. So I guess that's up for discussion now. Like, who are these people? What's gonna happen? Are they just
I'll
gonna
tell you what
die?
they are. They
Who
are
are
dead.
they?
They are
They're
gonna
not
die.
gonna last
Dead
20
men
minutes in
walking.
this film.
Dude, like I've watched a lot of movies. The way they're introduced, they're gonna die. Like there's no way. And yeah, to kind of start, I just want to say that I love like all of the actors that are in this. I think it's a really really cool cast. Even John Cena, I think he was like really funny in Trainwreck. If you guys have seen
Yes,
that.
Yeah.
super.
So I'm really excited, and the whole like, oh, is James Gunn like doing this to like was he told to do this because of Marvel, blah blah. I think it's more of DC is just so desperate for a good movie. They're just like, here's the money, do something, please save us.
Please.
And that's really the vibe I get, and I think it might be out of desperation, but also I do think that that's the way to differentiate themselves from Marvel, which I've been saying since they did like what do you call this? The first Wonder Woman movie. And when they did Aquaman also, I was like, just let the directors do what they want, because one of the things that I dislike about the Marvel universe is that all of the movies kind of end up feeling like the same movie at one point
Yeah.
in the universe.
Yeah.
It's just like, here's the bad guy. He is kind of the same as you, but not as, hopeful story. And, here, punch him really hard and he'll go away. But with DC, if you give the directors the freedom to do what they want, with James Wan, and they're like getting all these amazing horror directors. James Gunn isn't one of them, but with their other movies, they're getting a bunch of like, horror
It's like
directors.
James Gunn did a horror film.
James Gunn has done horror. He did
Yes.
Slither.
Oh,
And-
okay, sorry.
Yeah.
There you go.
Uh.
So yeah, it really puts like this unique style, and I think that's the way to go. So now, Suicide Squad, looks great because they're letting James Gunn do whatever he wants. I can't say anything about the story because there is none so far, but
The characters.
it looks fun because it's one guy controlling it and doing whatever he wants with it, and then you think about how to connect it after. That's how it should be done, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, and the last thing, they were initially cast Idris Elba to be Deadshot, right? Because
Yeah.
I
Will
think,
Smith,
I think
I think Will
those are the
Smith saw the
rumors.
ship was sinking, and he was like, "I'm out of here." But it's for me, it's a really good sign that, and we got Ben Affleck also. Sorry, just jumping ahead a little bit, but we also got confirmation that Ben Affleck's gonna play Batman in The Flash. So, and Henry Cavill also made a statement recently saying, "I really still want to be Superman."
What?
So, I think it's like such a positive sign that all the actors are like, okay, maybe this is finally something that's gonna happen, because you could tell everyone was fed up, especially after Justice League. They were
Seriously,
like,
That's true.
"Nah, man, I'm not
The
doing this
minute
anymore."
they just stopped giving Zack Snyder more content to make, it was just like, yes,
The
let's
actors
do
were like,
more
"We
stuff.
did it, guys!" So that's what makes me really excited about Suicide Squad. Also, is that it's another sign to me that the DC universe is like, oh my god, they figured it out finally. So yeah,
That's true.
Jen
And
with his continuous positivity. I love it.
let's go.
And I
Snyder
feel-
cut. Sorry.
I
Anyway,
feel like with the putting James Gunn here, the way he did, parang I guess the success story of putting the super obscure Guardians of the Galaxy, who were they,
It's true.
into like super mainstream popularity, gives the shot for these obscure DC characters from the Suicide Squad into like parang giving them a bit more light, and I guess parang giving him the power, or as Jen was saying, just giving him whatever he wants to do with them and just unleashing his creativity. And
Yeah.
during the panel, he was all like, "Oh, I know I super love this Ratcatcher dude. I'm gonna make a movie for him/her." And ayun nga, that's what he's doing. And it's interesting to see how in a short span of time, I guess, he'll treat these characters before they die. Any other thoughts on this? Especially comparing to the old Suicide Squad.
I just wanna I
Sorry,
wanna
go
bring
ahead,
up
yeah.
the fact that the first Suicide Squad won an Oscar, so
It
don't forget
did.
that.
It
for,
did
Wow,
win
what?
an
For what?
Oscar.
for makeup
Us
and
makeup.
making
hairstyling,
us-
yeah. Um,
Thanks, Tim.
yeah, exactly. No, it's
Will
super
Smith.
short lang. I just want to echo the fact that yes, I'm sure this is right. They're all gonna die. But number two, I'm okay with if most of them die, I'm okay with that, because there's a way to do it right. I feel
Yeah.
like just because they don't have a lot of screen time it doesn't guarantee that they won't be well written as just
Yeah.
like little
They
bit
just
players.
Rogue One it.
Yeah,
Kill
exactly.
everyone.
or they Deadpool to it, yeah. So yeah, like again, there's barely anything for me to go on with regard to what they've revealed so far, but I enjoy James Gunn's Marvel work a lot. I like the actors a lot. So we'll see what
Yes.
happens, and I'm just gonna wait for an actual trailer because so far there's not
It's
much.
hard to judge
And shout out
from what
to
you've
Definitely.
seen.
shout out to the Scooby-Doo movies that he did. One of my faves of all time.
He did the Scooby Doo movie.
He
Which one?
did.
Oh my god.
Which one? The first or
one?
the
Which one?
second?
I think the first. Yeah.
First, the
Yeah.
second.
Oh,
I'm
the
not
one with
sure.
Rowan Atkinson?
Yes.
I don't remember.
So good.
Anyway, sorry, Francis, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, I heard Cholo say that it's a soft reboot. Does that mean they're redoing the origin of what
No,
the
no,
first
no,
one?
no. It's still set in the same universe, but new set of characters and everything. And then I feel like they're just not going to mention that the initial
Yeah.
movie happened.
Oh.
Even if it did happen, they'll just parang who is she? yeah,
They're gonna Mariah Carey it.
yeah. But it's kind of a reboot, but it's also not.
Not really. And like, I like the colors also. I mean, based on the cast reveal lang, ang ganda ng colors compared to like the green and purple from the last one.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
read somewhere that James Gunn is called this movie a 70s war movie. So I'm really interested to see
Ooh.
how he spins that. I'm not really sure how he's gonna do it. Yeah.
I'm really
So
just
interesting
excited
how they're
for-
distancing themselves from the first Suicide Squad.
Which
Yeah.
they should.
Yeah.
They just should.
But it won an Oscar.
I actually didn't hate it naman. I still
Yeah.
like had a okay time watching.
It was so sad because I watched that film like with my cousins who like I was seeing for the first time in like a decade. So we were like, oh, cousin bonding time. We're so excited gonna watch this cool comic movie together. And we all just came out very upset. So it was just like
Wow.
such a bad I mean like they're very critical as well. But yeah, it's just very critical people. So yeah, I mean like it was enjoyable. Some parts of it were fun. Like the first 10 minutes I really liked. And then it all just kind of went downhill from there.
Yeah, but I heard kasi, di ba, na parang it was there was a lot of studio interference or something. Like David Ayer initially had like a cut, his own cut. And then after that, when Marvel released...
Release the Ayer cut.
Yeah, parang ganon. Yeah.
The Ayer cut.
Yeah, it was supposed to be something
Ayer.
else. So I feel like it turned out that way because that was when DC was already trying to be more like Marvel. And I guess they learned their lesson. So they gave, the reins already completely to James Gunn when, in making Suicide Squad 2.
Oh, I did really like the soundtrack of Suicide Squad.
Yeah, ang ganda ng Heathen.
Oh, yeah, it did. Yeah,
I really did like that. Yeah. But I'm excited to see all of these like very geek actors. Nathan Fillion, especially, like just coming back into something very geeky. So I think the last movie I really remember him was like Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief, which isn't like a good thing. Yeah, but I do love Nathan Fillion, and it's just nice to see him come back to his like nerdier roots. And Peter Capaldi as well. So
yes.
Yeah, very excited.
Okay, and speaking of the Suicide Squad, let's head over to the video game world for a bit and talk about the new video games they revealed. I guess let's go to the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League one first, since we were talking about Suicide Squad. And this one's for 2022, but it's pretty exciting for me when I saw that trailer. Syempre, they're really capitalizing on the whole popularity of Harley. And King Shark is here as well. Deadshot and Boomerang, all gonna be here. And it's apparently an evil Justice League narrative. And it's gonna be pretty interesting how they're gonna do it. Paula, I think, has a lot of thoughts about it.
Oh, I mean, I just love Rocksteady as a studio, like as a gaming studio. I think they come out with really fantastic narratives. And evil Justice League is always a concept that I enjoy. I don't know why, but like bad Superman just seems like a really good idea to me because of all that power. And then if you turn him evil, like you're fucked. Like everyone who's coming up against him could be fucked. So it's very fun. And I like Brainiac as a villain as well, like just a general villain in the DC universe. So I'm excited to see more of him. I'm excited for everyone to kind of enjoy him more because it's been a while, like since, mainstream media has like seen him. So that's great. And I mean, like the trailer just seemed fantastic. So I'm just more excited to play the game.
And more King Shark.
Really.
We're here for more King Shark.
More King Shark. Just generally more King Shark.
I feel like the Arrowverse didn't really show enough of King Shark.
The Arrowverse had King Shark?
Yeah. King Shark appeared for like a couple of episodes. But not really like this type of King Shark, I guess. Any other thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I have a funny story, but not super long story, super short story about the Suicide Squad trailer. So I saw it. So it was like one of the first few trailers I saw because like the morning after they did the DC Fandome, it's like, wow, there's so much DC stuff on YouTube today. So I was like, hey, there's a Suicide Squad thing. Okay, let me watch. Because I had seen the sort of really short YouTube clip announcing who the really big ass cast was for Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. So when I saw this Suicide Squad trailer, I literally thought I was watching the movie trailer, but it wasn't. Just a YouTube game trailer.
Just confusion.
Okay. There really is a lot of stuff happening today for DC. So it was pretty cool though. I mean, really interesting to see how Rocksteady's, because I mean, like, to my knowledge, they've only made like 3 games, right? They're all Batman games.
Yeah.
Or
one guy.
What's the other one?
Parang Origins, Arkham, and then Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and then Arkham Knight.
They didn't do Origins. They didn't do Origins.
Origins wasn't.
Yeah.
But it's the same gameplay and everything.
Whereas Gotham Knights, which were
yeah, It's
okay.
yeah, it's
really
Warner
oh.
Montreal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. What
Yeah.
games did Rocksteady do then?
Just the Arkham ones, except for
The
Origins.
original Arkham games.
Except for
Okay.
Origins, yeah. So
Okay.
it should be. It's pretty interesting to see them like tackle a game where it's not just like this one person you're controlling the entire time. So I mean, I'm sure that'll be fun.
And to have powers already, right? As
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
Because at least in the few Arkham games that I've played, I don't recall Batman ever having like a gun or anything. You know, just his usual
Like an
parang
AK?
arsenal.
No.
Now you
Yes.
have like Deadshot with a gun. You have Captain Boomerang with his
boomerang.
who runs fast. Who's really fast now? I don't recall him
He
having those.
teleports.
That was super
Yeah,
weird.
that's
I don't know
new.
how
That
they
was new. I
explained
was like,
that.
what?
I think it's like in the story, like Waller is gonna give them a bunch of tech to use for the mission.
Oh wow, that's gonna be fun.
That's how I'm
and then have that with a
understanding.
Rocksteady gameplay, but that's gonna
Exactly.
be interesting. Yeah.
Is it
But I'm
confirmed
wondering
that
how they're
Brainiac is the
connected.
villain? Sorry,
It's
The trailer,
Brainiac's. Yeah, it's Brainiac's fortress.
those were his minions. Or sorry,
No, the
I don't know
tentacle
too much
thing.
about
The
Brainiac.
tentacles, yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
But they said it's connected to the Arkham series. And I'm wondering,
Oh.
like, when in the timeline of the Arkham series they're going to put this in. Because if it's kill the Justice League,
And I saw this thing.
you have to
Deadshot.
include
man.
Batman.
Deadshot was
man.
white in the previous
crazy.
Arkham Arkham game. So and now he's black. I'm like, how did that happen? I want to know. Where does he
Flash-
turn black
The
in
Flash
this
that's
timeline?
called. He changed the timeline and he became black now.
Oh, that's a possibility.
Makes sense.
I'm really just very interested.
It's very Injustice because the Injustice
Oh,
Yeah, it
story is Brainiac
yeah.
also.
I think to have evil Justice League, you tend to need Brainiac. Like, that's normally the flow of how they do it.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad about it.
I thought at first I thought it was who is this Bizarro Superman, like when he just came out with a picture.
Oh
and
yeah,
then,
because he was like all purple and stuff.
Yeah.
okay, so it's Brainiac. That's interesting.
Well, that's what all of the comments are saying.
Yeah, it probably is.
No, the giant skull thing with the triangle.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah,
didn't even
That's
notice
what I
that.
thought also.
Somehow I didn't notice a giant
It's the
skull.
start of the trailer.
Really? Well, okay. Granted, I thought it was the movie for
That's true.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
That's like a good sign for the game because it really feels like a movie. And
I
this
am actually
one-
more excited for this than Gotham Knight.
So yeah, this one will be in the next gen consoles now, so PS5 and not
Yeah.
PS4. So we'll see in 2 years if 2 years happen from now. But next year, as Paul was saying, Gotham Knights is also gonna be released. It's a very interesting take on the Arkham type series, I would say. Since you're gonna be able to play with Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing, and Red Hood all
The
in one
gang.
game.
Fam.
The squad.
That's really interesting Batman family take, and and they've teased the Court of Owls for this
Yep.
game.
Yes.
So that's a very interesting like villain. I mean, the gameplay they showed had Mr. Freeze in it, so I guess it's a multi baddie story.
Did you
And-
watch the gameplay, like Francis?
I mean,
No,
it
I only
kind-
saw the trailer.
it kind of looks similar lang to the Arkham, but
It
then
looks
Yeah.
worse than their Arkham one, though. No, I'm not kidding. Like, it seemed to be like a really big step down because I know it's just like the beta, the alpha. It's the
okay.
alpha version actually. But if you compare the alpha version of Gotham Knight versus the alpha version of Arkham that they released, that Warner Montreal released when the game first came out, ang laki ng difference. Kaya
Talaga?
I'm really confused as to why it looks like that.
well,
after
Paula's
how many
the
years?
video game aficionado.
My brother is.
I mean, she has more.
Maybe
My
it's because
brother.
they've had to develop it in their bedroom, with COVID.
That's
I don't
fair.
have equipment.
That's fair.
Makes sense. But yeah, for me, I'm also looking forward to this. I guess now that Paul is saying it, I'm kind of thinking about it. But I guess I'm not really like a super big video game nerd to have that kind of like insight into it. But
Mhm.
I mean, with the Avengers game, Spider-Man game, I guess it's just really a fun time to be a superhero geek and like have video
Oh, yeah.
games. I
And
mean, the
play
same
video
way we
games.
had Spider-Man 2 before, and then now parang the resurgence of these games, and with the upcoming Spider-Man Miles Morales as well. Pretty
Yeah.
exciting time for
Expansion pack.
video games that are superhero themed. Any other thoughts on these Batman, Bat Fam?
I feel like Red Hood is gonna stab them all in the back. Like I can't see
I
them
heard
being
that-
like a team member the whole
Same,
time.
same. I also heard like they're trying to inject a little bit of not the killing joke, death of the family in this storyline. So aside from the Court of Owls, but that's like a lot of narrative
That's a
if
lot.
they want
I
to
mean,
do
it's
all
video
of
May
games.
this.
Make it
DLC,
long.
ganon.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't expect to enjoy it as much as Rocksteady stuff, but I mean, like I'm game to play Ace Nightwing. That sounds like fun,
Yeah.
and Robin, definitely.
I heard that how it's also trying to market itself is that it's the game that Avengers wanted to be, like the Avengers game wanted to be. The
Kinda
whole
early
free,
to say that, but okay.
like free world, free world, open world concept, and like multiple superheroes that you can play. That Avengers, like at least with the demo versions that have come out, didn't really like commit. Like the way that they were hyping themselves up, and then like how the game really was, it was just so far away from each other. And with what this new game is coming
Yeah.
out, it seemed to do it much better. Yeah. But I'm excited. I'm still gonna play both, most likely.
Yeah, we're
Both
all like,
Avengers and this.
this is what we feel, but we're still gonna watch it. We're just gonna play it.
I'm still like a slave
Yes,
for all.
We
these
have to have our
fandoms.
own opinion from experiencing it firsthand.
That's
course.
true. Don't
how it
be
is.
other people who just read the headlines and have a say about it, not read the article.
Cholo has a lot of feelings about that.
So, ayun, those are the video games that were revealed and had hype around them. Next, ito na siguro yung a lot of the meat that we're gonna be talking about, is the infamous hashtag Snyder Cut of Justice League, which is apparently also known as Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I don't know if that indicates what this will be. They put Zack Snyder's Justice League in the
Allegedly the Justice League for grown-ups.
We'll have to see.
So annoying.
So,
Not for kids.
After the whole, how many years of fans calling Zack Snyder to release the Snyder Cut, it's finally
Literally
here.
calling him like, "Hello, Zack Snyder, please release the cut."
I think they
We
did.
know you have it.
They bought mga
Where
streamers
is it?
for NTCC and like had massive petitions and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was like a whole
Hashtag.
campaign for it.
Yeah, it's finally happening, and
Adult
as
fans are scary.
they are.
Rich fans, man. It's crazy.
I mean, if K-pop fans can like
Oh,
take a
they-
Trump
no.
rally,
But that's a
here.
whole
K-pop
other
fans are
thing.
ravenous. Like they are.
True.
Um,
And they do more for good than
We could like end like so many things if K-pop fans would just like focus for 2 seconds.
So ayun, this Zack Snyder Justice League hashtag Snyder Cut is finally happening with a 4-part miniseries as announced during the panel on HBO Max, and they will apparently release a 4-hour cut na film version afterwards.
Richard. Richard said it's like
So I guess this is our whole Zack Snyder discussion on this
I
episode.
want to hear what
Roast.
Richard has to say.
It did. No, I was initially super excited about it because I was pro Zack Snyder when I saw the Justice League movie because I could see a lot of Joss Whedon's hand
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
making it. And then obviously, the weird lip Superman.
Mustache.
I don't want to see that. But when I heard that it was going to be a 4-part miniseries, I was starting, parang they're milking a lot out of it. And I don't think that's a good thing. You get what I mean? And I just think 4 hours is too long, man. It's not a movie anymore. And I feel like he's going to stretch a lot of moments. And as we all know, Zack Snyder isn't really good at making good moments. So having 4 hours of that, it might be tiring lang. Parang seeing that slow motion visual and the dark aesthetic just for 4 hours, man. That's just
I would
difficult to
disagree
sit
though
through.
with Zack Snyder doesn't make good moments. I think Zack Snyder makes good moments. He doesn't make good scenes. Do you
Oh, yeah,
remember
yeah, yeah.
particular clips of Justice League and Batman?
No,
versus
yeah. I mean,
like-
it's just not like you get what I mean, like 4 hours of that, and it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
even going to be like coherent and just just all spectacle and stuff like that. But I'm sure it's gonna get tiring at some point in one of those hours.
One of those hours.
I'm just hoping it's better than like what came out in the cinema.
For sure, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be better
Sana.
because you have his whole vision already in it. So at least because one of the biggest one of my biggest problems with the Justice League initially was it was very inconsistent, like the tone
Oh yeah.
and the characters and everything. So at least now I'm hoping to see what the movie was originally supposed to be.
That's
But
true.
even like speaking of consistency, it was very weird for me. Like obviously the trailer didn't really have much dialogue, and also it didn't really need it because we kind of know what the story is gonna be based on the original like Justice League movie. But what they did use as dialogue, which is Batman saying, "They've
God.
never fought us, not united."
United.
Batman? Is that really you? What? What's
Close na pala
happening?
sila.
Yeah.
It was just so off for me.
Wasn't that a big part of their marketing?
Yeah, the big marketing
It is,
plan is
yeah.
called Unite the League. So I guess
United.
Yeah.
kind of like bank
Yeah.
on that. But it's just really interesting for me in general na, we can now revive things after they
After they've died.
come out. And I guess that kind of gives it a bit na parang they kind of know what not to do anymore. And we have, that's kind of my take on it na at least they had the time to think it through with the fan comments and all that, which isn't always the best case because look at the Rise
Star
of
Wars.
Skywalker. Here we are again.
Tayo.
Here we are again.
All roads lead back to the Rise of Skywalker.
Listen to episode 27. But ayun, it's just really interesting. For me, I'm still looking forward to it. Yun nga, they say kasi that there's a lot of world building, all that backstory. And apparently there's gonna be a new take on the Superman death from BVS in this one, in a similar way that they showed Batman's origins in BVS. Yung opening sequence, parang ganun yata yung gagawin for Superman's death. And of course, we get to see the black suit for the first time, which is pretty exciting. So, I mean, I guess everything, parang the whole, naman talaga with the first Justice League movie, or the original, I don't know what to call it anymore. The Snyder-Whedon cut. Very hodgepodge nga, and very like, what's happening? Why did Superman die? Agad-agad, all these things. It's just interesting to see what they will do with it. And ayun, based on the trailer, it looks interesting.
The thing that excites me about the Snyder Cut is in the footage that they showed, the preview footage that they showed. First of all, how did they give this dude like $15 million to finish this movie?
Right?
Are you kidding?
Actually, mga 30 yata eh.
Oh my god! So for that, I just want to get that out of the way. That makes me angry. That's what? Like,
So much money.
excuse me?
Just make a new movie.
Yeah, just make another movie, dude. Jesus Christ. Although I do think it's nice to let him finish it because he did have to leave for some very unfortunate, family
It's true.
matters. So that's nice. But what really gets me excited is the scenes that they show him including, which is a lot of the Flash. The new scenes are a lot of the Flash and Cyborg. One, Flashpoint, because in the new poster release of the Flash. Sorry, again, I'm jumping a little bit ahead. In my head, like, that's Flashpoint. That has to be Flashpoint, like his suit.
Yeah.
And they show Cyborg's origin story, which initially, when they announced Justice League years back, in my head, I'm like, just do what Justice League War did, the DC animated movie. And I was like, you guys will be fine. And then they didn't follow it at all. And then we got, what we have now. So in my head, like, oh my God, like, they're doing it. They're finally following the animated movies. I don't want them to reach Apocalypse because that movie is like super depressing.
Yeah.
But if it just like, there's certain scenes from the animated movies that I've always wondered like what it would look like in live action. And just that makes me want to watch the Snyder Cut. That's why I'm still like, again, positivity, woo! So even just for that, I will watch the Snyder Cut. And if you guys don't want to watch it, I'll tell you all about it if it's something.
Don't
watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna watch it.
It'll just take a while, but I'm gonna watch it.
Wala pang wala pang month na sinabi. Parang wala pa. But yeah.
Seems to be early next year. Like that's what the projections are.
So yeah, I mean, for me yun din, parang I hope this gets enough, like, I mean, the fact that they're doing it means there's enough fan clamor for it.
Oh yeah.
I hope that they get the chance to do a Justice League with someone
With
else.
Justice.
Yeah, I mean,
Do a
literally.
Justice League movie with Justice.
no vengeance. Joke. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Oh, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
But yeah. I mean, someone else doing it and giving it justice, as Paula said. That would be interesting to have the same people after the solo movies and have another Justice League aside from the Justice League and the Snyder Cut. So yeah. Any other thoughts, Emil, Francis?
Can someone explain to me why the aspect ratio of the teaser of Justice League was the way it was? 'Cause I
It
don't
was a
understand.
square.
Oh, why was it that way?
I feel like that was just like a marketing thing where they intended to release it on like Facebook and stuff as in the square,
Yeah.
the default square aspect ratio, and then they just forgot to. I don't know.
Way.
I know.
Francis, as a media person, is getting
It does
frustrated
not make any sense.
because
Actually,
like
the full series, it's gonna be square ratio.
Oh my god.
So you can watch it on your phone.
That's
4
where the
hours,
15 million
na
went.
square lang yung papanoodin
Dropped
mo.
out.
Like
This
Gone
is-
with the Wind.
The future.
Literally Snyder cut, as in
Like he literally cut it.
literally.
Oh,
That's my cut.
No, not as bad as that. I don't know if you remember, Emil, that Transformers movie we watched where the
Oh my god, I was
aspect
just
ratio would
thinking of
change
that.
in
I
the
was just
middle of the
thinking of
movie.
that. The entire movie.
In the middle
the
of the
aspect
movie.
ratio
Yeah.
kept changing like 3 or 4 times. It was
Which
ridiculous.
which Transformers movie?
The
was
last
this?
one. The last
The
one.
Bumblebee one?
Something
Oh
night.
no.
Something
no,
last
no,
night.
it's
The
Age of Extinction?
the
No, the last
no,
night.
the last
Moon.
night.
the
It's
last
Something
really
with
called The
Moon.
Last Night.
Yes, it's called the last night.
Okay.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, good.
That's
Alam
because of the IMAX.
Transformers world.
Yeah.
Any-
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was just gonna add that. Yeah, I think Brennan and I talked about this. I am not optimistic because no. The thing is, like, I agree that I actually had fun watching Justice League. Like, I think it's okay. And but the reason why I'm like a little nervous about this is that I already like it more than Zack Snyder's complete vision for BVS. So like if I'm comparing Zack Snyder's BVS to the hodgepodge Justice League, I still like the hodgepodge Justice League more.
Okay.
And the reason, and I while I still had fun with Justice League, the reasons why the things that I disliked about Justice League are like sort of baked into the fabric of the film, the writing and some of the direction and stuff. So
Yeah.
I just know that the Snyder Cut's going to give me a little more of that. So I'm not optimistic. I might still watch it across like 4 different weeks. Like I'll just watch 1 hour every week. But yeah, but
Then we'll have a
I don't know.
podcast for each episode.
Oh my god, no.
Part 1.
It might be fun. We might
Yeah,
have
no, I
something to
mean-
fun of.
I'm glad. I'm still, although yes, I'm still glad that he was able to complete it just because of the
Yeah.
circumstances of his departure. So I'm happy for that.
All right.
Okay, I guess that brings us to the next part. I guess brief lang naman to,
Hindi
which
pa
is the
Francis.
Flash. There was a part-
Francis is so excited.
So good.
the Flash, there was a short panel that they showed like some bits of like Flash history and the fact that they're really diving deeper into the multiverse with the Flash movie. I mean, initially they said it's going to be a Flashpoint movie, but they didn't really market it with that this time around. So I'm not sure if they're still going to be following the Flashpoint saga of the Flash. But they did show Barry Allen played by Ezra Miller meeting Barry Allen played by Grant Gustin in this panel specifically. And that really shows na for me that they're really into this multiverse
Yeah.
concept. And that's very interesting na, with having so many Jokers, so many Batmans, so many Flashes, Supermans, that they're like embracing it and really putting it as canon. It's something different than what we're seeing as compared to Marvel, which is like a shared universe. But of course, they're gonna go that route sooner or later with Doctor Strange then. But that's another discussion altogether. But this Flash is giving me hope na syempre the first time they announced Flashpoint at the very least was like, oh, is this like a way to officially retcon everything that happened because it was so horrible. But with this time around, I guess it's a way to like soft retcon it, but still recognize everything that happened. I don't know. It's just really exciting for me, especially with the Flash being my favorite DC character. It's interesting, and of course, they did announce that Michael Keaton is returning as Batman in this Flash movie, along with Batfleck having a cameo in the beginning to establish the
Continuity.
universe Earth
He's still
1.
here.
Actually. I don't know which Earth number is assigned to the film series because
Oh my
in
God.
Arrowverse, Earth 1 is like Grant Gustin's Earth. So I don't know which Earth this is supposed to be. Emil, do you remember?
No,
but-
The precious Emil.
from Crisis.
yeah, from Crisis.
I don't think they mentioned it. Ezra Miller just literally just popped up, and they didn't talk about it.
It's me, Ezra Miller.
Yeah, but ayun, it's just really interesting and exciting because Christina Hodson, who wrote Birds of Prey, like Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, is also writing for the Flash movie. And I'm just really happy to have a Flash movie in general.
Yes.
So that's my.
He
those are my
deserves his
thoughts.
own film. Definitely.
Aside
Even
from,
if I don't like Ezra Miller anymore. Just slowly disliking all of the DC actors.
It's the opposite of Marvel.
yeah,
Well, we got I'm gonna butcher this guy's last name. Andy Muschietti? Is that how you say it?
Machete.
Yeah.
Shetty.
Machete?
Machete.
Machete? I'm so sorry, Andy. Even though you don't know I exist. They got him to direct the movie, and that in itself just makes me so excited.
Pennywise appears in the multiverse, guys.
God.
Because I've seen all three of his movies, Mama, It, and It Too. Not much of a filmography, but from what I have seen, he has such a good like idea of, even though It Too maybe suffered a little plot wise.
Yeah.
Maybe not a little, but
But
even though
It
it suffered
one
plot
was
wise,
great.
visually it's like great
Yes.
still. It's just as good as the first.
Yes.
So in my head, Flashpoint is like one of the more depressing DC movies. So I think it's perfect that they got a horror director to do
Yeah.
this. So I'm just excited to see how much fun he's going to have because one of the nice things about it was that Pennywise was just this character that they didn't really say what his powers were, so he could just kind of do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of similar to Flashpoint, where it's like if Flash goes back in time and saves them all or whatever he's gonna do, what's gonna happen? And he can do whatever he wants. And even if it's not even necessarily like in the animated movie or in the comics, I don't think anyone will care because it's Flashpoint. So I think it's a really good fit to get him on board. And what do you call this? The fact that Ezra Miller's just stayed on board this entire time just makes me go like, oh my god, please give him something good to do movie wise. So I'm looking forward to this also.
And I'm hoping it shows like a lot of like history. I mean, having Michael Keaton alone as Batman kind of like shows you that they will kind of like traverse through the multiverse. And I'm really hoping Grant Gustin again appears here, like Ezra appeared on his show.
I absolutely love Grant Gustin as
Yeah.
Barry Allen. Probably my
Corporate
favorite Barry
synergy.
Allen.
It just really opens up the whole multiverse, and that's exciting. And this is gonna be a while till this one, right?
Yeah.
So, ayun, that's pretty much it on the Flash. Unless anyone else wants to say Flash-related stuff. Okay, just briefly, they also showed some Black Adam concept art. Wala pang nangyayari sa Black Adam.
That was a weird trailer.
Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. The Rock as Black Adam, but there's nothing much yet to say about it at this point. So now we head to the last part, which
The
is
moment Francis
again,
has been waiting
everyone's
for.
been waiting
Here we
for.
go.
We put it last because it's one of the most hyped up parts of the DC fandom, which was the Batman Pattinson teaser trailer reveal. After the Suicide Squad, we now have the Batman because you have to distinguish everything with like the school here. That's it.
Ay, nako.
God.
So the Batman will be a year two look on the making of the Batman as a character. So as it indicates, it's year two of being Batman, and that's not really something that we've really seen before, aside from the origins of Batman with the parents and all that, and being Batman. I guess ito yung early days, and they're saying this is Matt Reeves at the helm. And this was supposed to be Batfleck's movie until Batfleck kind of gave up on the Batman, and I guess he's back now. But before he came back, they did give the role to Robert Pattinson with all the internet brouhaha about Robert Pattinson being the Batman. But I guess he's proving us wrong with this trailer. And this is like, apparently they've only shot around 1/4 of the film because of Miss Rona. And this is just what we got from 1/4 of the film being shot. So I'm very positive about it. I guess open forum na about the Batman. I guess Francis will take over this segment.
Go
But
lang.
I don't know if I have that much to say about it. But I mean, I feel like at least I'm hoping. I haven't seen all of the Batman movies, but I'm really hoping that Robbie Pat will make a really good Bruce Wayne. Not to say that Christian Bale wasn't a good Bruce Wayne, but in terms of like sort of a younger, sort of not super experienced Bruce Wayne, that's something that I definitely like to see. I think the detail that might actually be wrong that I noticed is it seems like Hush is going to make an appearance. I don't know if that's true. It really looked like, I don't know, that's what really got me excited for the movie, is to see. It never even occurred to me because I sort of, I don't know, I feel like I always expected to be Joker or maybe Mr. Freeze.
No, but I get you though. Like the first when the after I finished the trailer, I don't know why, but I thought na parang wow, Hush might be here.
Yeah, it
think
it was
did
the
have the
duct
Hush
tape.
I
vibes.
really hope
I think
he's
it was
there.
the duct tape thing, and then the Riddler
Yeah.
being the villain, but in
Yeah.
the Hush comic also, see Riddler was apparently the main villain.
And Hush is like one of the best like comic series that the Batman has like produced.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah.
Little
Interesting
fact
to see if they do
little
that.
fact that I just researched a while ago, just because I wanted to make sure I knew a little bit more about DC Fandome, to be honest. So the artist for the original Batman Hush comic, Jim Lee.
Jim Lee.
Yeah,
He turns out he's the chief creative officer now.
that's
for-
amazing.
Super cool. And he's also the one who designed sort of like the, what do they call it, the arena or the fandom, like the way it looked was out of design that Jim Lee did. So it
That's
also
awesome.
explains why like the Wonder Woman, the Batman, the Superman that you see sort of in the background of the fandom, it's Jim Lee art. So it's him. It's pretty cool.
But yeah, there are also like some theories it's not even Bruce Wayne. I don't know because of the last part of the trailer.
Oh yeah.
They never show the mansion or whatever. I don't know.
But they have
Really,
someone
Alfred?
casted as Alfred.
No, yeah. And then I was researching also. I had to make sure because when I finished the trailer, I was also thinking to myself, wow, he did not feel like a Bruce Wayne. Like he kind of did, but he also kind of felt like a Dick Grayson. So I had to research if they did call him, if the director has called Robert Pattinson Bruce Wayne. And parang I saw an interview na he refers
did.
to Robert.
He's
yeah,
there were.
he
Even
calls
articles
him Bruce
say-
Wayne talaga.
Yeah.
So
But maybe it's
really
like a
exciting.
Riddler kind of thing that they're putting.
Yeah, I mean,
together.
diba
I don't know. We
throughout
never.
the trailer, they keep saying no more lies. So baka the lie,
Yeah.
or
The lie is that
director- yeah, he's actually not.
Actually, Dick Grayson.
That's what the theories are about. That yun nga. That
That's
people are
interesting.
saying he's lying about
That's super
still
interesting.
being Bruce Wayne, but not being Bruce Wayne, and whoever that is as Batman. So I don't know.
Love Dick
Oh, that'd be
Grayson.
so
we also
interesting.
don't really see. I know one of the things that lends itself to that theory is that you don't actually see him be properly Bruce Wayne, and you don't really see Andy Serkis, who's Alfred, being a butler to him. So
Yeah,
it could all just be coincidence, but that would
Could
be
all just be they haven't filmed it yet.
yeah,
that's
exactly.
true.
Probably.
Andy Serkis is busy doing some mocap thing. So.
Alfred.
Or would he be still in a
Mocap.
mocap as
He's gonna-
Alfred?
exactly.
He's gonna be crawling around the mansion.
Master Wayne.
I mean, Matt Reeves did say that it's Alfred like you've never seen before.
God.
It's a different Alfred.
There's a
Alfred
universe
is
where
well.
Joker is Alfred, so they could just go crazy.
Oh no.
Pretty interesting, but yeah, I mean, yun nga, I guess we're gonna talk about the Joker a bit because it's kind of like with
Okay.
Jared Leto Joker existing, and then biglang si Joaquin Phoenix, and then now with Batfleck and Pattinson existing at the same timeline. I mean, in the human audience timeline, at least. They're kind of like, I just really hope it's not all super hyped up, and then we're all gonna be very like divided about what we feel about it. The same way a lot of people feel about Joker, like what we said earlier on.
Wait, I just wanna before we get into that, like on the Batman, I just want to say that I have ridiculous faith in Robert Pattinson. I think post Twilight,
Oh, gee, yeah.
Guys, he's the
Post-Twilight,
Batman.
Good time.
his movie choices have been so good.
Yeah.
Good
Oh, yeah.
Time. Lost
I don't
City
think he's
of
done
Z,
a bad movie
yeah,
since Twilight.
The Lighthouse. Like he's a legitimately great actor.
What's the
It's
movie he
just
did with Tom Holland? That was also really good.
Lost City of Z.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Lost City of Z, yeah, that was
Yeah.
also really good.
Other one.
And then I know some people were complaining about how like dark and gritty
Emo.
na naman siya and stuff like that, and emo and My Chemical Romance when I
It
I
was
was
just
a
the
young
hair.
boy.
I just have like
Yeah.
The
issue with the
bangs.
hair.
Yeah, no, but exactly, I like that. And I feel like there's a difference between the parang quote unquote darkness na ginawa ni Zack Snyder, which to me felt very self-serious and very lofty, compared to this one, which feels like a David Fincher movie almost.
Yes.
Like the tape was
Yeah.
straight out of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that, and I love the Planet of the Apes movies that Matt Reeves did. So yeah. I have faith in it.
And
I
dude,
also,
that brief moment where he was like punching the villain. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
that was so
Jesus
good.
Christ, I was like, oh my
That-
god.
I was like,
Very Arkham
whoa,
City.
that was
Exactly.
intense.
I was like, we got the warehouse scene, but shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see the Waynes die again. Like,
Oh yeah.
them
I mean,
die too many
Oh my god,
times
please.
for them to die one more time.
Wouldn't it be
with this
amazing if they were all
Batman.
played by the same two people? That would be so cool.
That's a new
Andy
series.
Serkis.
This is Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis plays the parents also. That's the
Or-
mocap. That was the mocap.
Richard,
if-
I remember you like not fangirling, but like being excited about the Riddler actor. I'm blanking on his name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, si
Paul
Paul
Dano.
Oh my
Dano.
god,
He's so
dude.
good.
Dude.
So good.
In There Will Be Blood. Was it There Will Be Blood?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I hope he brings that like crazy aspect to
His
his
eyes
character there,
really
like here
look
also.
crazy.
Is that actually his
yeah.
voice? It sounded like his voice was altered.
Yeah, it might not even be him.
Even
who knows?
even Colin Farrell as the Penguin is like, that's
Yeah.
Colin Farrell.
Okay, yeah, but they could have just hired Richard Kind because he looks exactly like Richard Kind.
Or it's
Saw
Andy
that
Serkis
meme.
in the mocap
Oh
scene.
my
Why
God.
don't they
or
just
Andy Serkis.
This
No,
whole
guys,
movie-
like just bring back Danny freaking DeVito. Like literally
Oh
cannot
my
think
God.
of anybody
If
who
they
plays.
recast Jim Carrey as the Riddler also, I wouldn't have been.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
have been like,
That
yes.
is so weird.
I wouldn't have complained though because I really did enjoy him.
It's
as the
Dr.
Riddler.
Robotnik.
Wait a minute. If Michael Keaton is going to be in the Flash, that means we can get Danny DeVito back.
That's
Bring
true.
back
That's
Danny
Penguin.
DeVito.
You just ask all of them, hey,
Release the Danny
Yeah,
DeVito
just a
cut.
cameo.
George Clooney, get your nipples on. We need you to do some.
Oh, but that would be so great though if they got all of the Batmans in like one thing.
Maybe
Kind of like
that's
the
what they're
Power
doing for
Rangers thing.
Flashpoint.
Yeah,
be so
maybe
right.
maybe sa Arrowverse. Parang mas bagay siya sa Arrowverse.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
medyo
Yeah.
campy.
Then they kind of did that,
What,
right?
what,
Yeah,
well,
they
they
did,
did.
yeah.
Is
They
it
did,
even? Is
yeah.
it still called the Arrowverse if Arrow's done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it started at
CW verse. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh.
never mind. That sounds weird. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I don't
With
like the
Arrowverse.
CW first. It sounds wrong.
But yeah, that's what I really love. I mean, kasi with the history of DC in media, parang being way
So
longer than
much.
Marvel, they get to do these, like, a lot of these Easter eggs. Now you can just take people from history and put them, like Linda Carter being the president in Supergirl, the
That
series,
was awesome.
and all that. And it's really just cool to have all the legacy actors come back for their iconic roles for other films. And
Yeah.
even John Wesley Shipp coming back in The Flash as another version of The Flash. and his
Nice.
own
Kevin
version of
Conroy
The Flash.
playing Batman.
Yeah.
And
Brandon
Exactly,
Routh
so-
reprising his role as Superman.
Brandon Brooks.
Yes. So ayun, it's really a fun multiverse. Any other Batman thoughts?
Oh yeah. I literally thought he was gonna say, "I am not like
Martha.
justice." Is that the? I thought he was gonna say, "I am the Batman" instead of "I am vengeance."
Yeah,
like I
vengeance.
was so ready for him to say that he was the Batman.
I am Martha.
Alas.
That's what he's gonna say.
What? No. Sorry.
Yeah, it's great. I'm excited. I love Robert
Yep.
Pattinson.
And it's one that they've actually shot a little bit of, so we actually got a.
So
proper
there was
trailer.
actually something to look at.
Yes. So aside from that, also in the works, apparently it's a Gotham PD prequel series set in the same universe, coming out also on HBO Max. So
It's kind of cool.
that's pretty interesting. And I guess they're gonna be different, making it different from Gotham, the Gotham TV show, as it currently is or was.
Is it still running?
It's
Isn't it
done.
No, it ended now.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be in the same universe as Pattinson's Batman, in the eyes of a
Batman.
corrupt Gotham PD officer. So that's pretty interesting, especially with the whole all cops are bad narrative. And yeah, it's pretty interesting to see that. Any last thoughts on Batman? The Batman.
Did we want to talk about Joker? Is that a
If you
conversation?
wanna talk
Can I
about
have
Can we have that after the podcast? Because I feel like that's going to take a
That's
while.
it? Okay, sige.
There are thoughts
Okay,
and there
okay,
are questions.
Last thought or last question for the whole everything we talked about DC fandom. How do you think? What do you feel about seeing all this, and how do you think the DC multiverse will go from here? I will start and say that it's very exciting for me the way that they've really stepped up and finally embraced a different direction than what Marvel is doing. Finally, they're parang finding their roots na in their and embracing what they already have in the multiverse, and that's what makes it exciting, as I said earlier. And yun, just really looking forward to all of this, and hope we have a lot of more DC episodes because of that. Next person.
Ako, I'll say that I'm really glad also that they're trying not to just copy what Marvel's been doing, and they really have been doing their own thing. Like standalone films like Joker and to an extent Birds of Prey, although I know it's going to be woven in, but it feels like so much of a standalone thing. And in the Arrowverse also, like I'm a big fan of Black Lightning. I love
Yes.
what's her name? I'm blanking on her name. The actress who plays Supergirl.
Melissa
Melissa
Benoit.
Benoist.
Melissa
Yeah,
Benoit.
yeah. But I feel like
Dread.
Sorry the way I said that.
Benoit!
I feel like DC has like so many great ideas that they're already finally putting into play in the quote unquote right way, the way that I feel is best for them.
Yes.
So I am excited, and I feel like I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to like set the timeline straight anymore. Bren and I kind of talked about this also, where it just feels like because they got off on the wrong foot. I feel like it's too late now.
A timeline doesn't exist. It's
Yeah,
a multiverse
exactly.
now.
But I really wouldn't mind if they just keep doing like self-contained little franchises per character, because individually I feel like they're all strong naman eh. So yeah, I'm as much as I'm not a fan of a lot of the DC movies recently, I'm super optimistic. So yeah.
Same. I mean, I think one of the good things about this fandom this year and like just the DC event in general is that Marvel isn't doing anything, because it's always a point of comparison. And I think that's why DC fails, because fans, for some reason, always keep comparing the two. And that's not, I don't know.
Okay.
It just, it makes it harder, I guess, for DC to succeed. But I like that Marvel isn't doing anything this year, giving DC like the spotlight that it deserves. I think like we deserve to focus a little bit on the original like superheroes or the original comics, at least like for this year. And they showed that they're doing a lot of interesting stuff. I'm excited about this in a way that I haven't been excited about them in a really long time. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I'm just interested to see what else they're going to come up with. Although DC, I think, does a better job in comics, but I'm not sure if everyone's aware, but they laid off majority of their comic staff because of Miss Rona. So it's frustrating as well to see that a lot of the comics that I've grown to love and are coming to life with these new DC movies and franchises, the people who actually made them won't be able to enjoy like seeing them come to fruition because of the circumstances that they're in.
Building on what Emil said, you know the great thing about DC, parang when you think of the great DC stories, you don't think, at least for me, you don't think of like certain storylines from their main universe. You think of the other cool alternate universe stories. You have the Dark Knight comic books from Frank Miller. You have Kingdom Come. You have Sandman. You have all these different stories from different universes, and it's nice to know not DC is embracing the chaos of their timeline. They're not going with the Marvel route where they just want a very coherent, cohesive single universe. They're going with a different universe aspect, and that's nice. I like now they're creating their own thing with that, and it's an opportunity also for the directors, as Jen said a while ago. It's an opportunity for directors, for actors to have more liberty with how they want to portray their characters and all that. So that's really why I'm happy with like the DC fandom this year. It's because it's showing that they're taking a lot of risks, and I feel like in the superhero cinematic universe, we need more risks now because for me it's getting kind of repetitive now.
Yeah.
With a lot of films. Yeah. So,
and yun parang ano lang, I guess that's more for super geekier fans. Kasi parang I guess it would seem a bit confusing to more casual fans. How can Batfleck appear with Pattinson, all that? I don't know. It's just like they have to make it make sense a bit more to casual fans. Kasi that wouldn't really, parang they wouldn't be super deep into the lore of DC and multiverses as compared to like people who are a bit more like into like comics or these TV shows, cartoons, and movies. It's just like that's kind of like my contention. Hindi naman contention, but like a bit something they have to work on as they move along with this kind of multiverse setup.
I feel like once they release Flash, people will get okay, it's in the same universe, but it's also not in the same universe.
Yeah.
And
I think we have to train audiences to like appreciate another kind of.
That's true.
That's true.
Which is why I appreciate Joker a lot. Like that's one thing I super appreciate about it. It's just so it's very different from the main DC cinematic universe, but it's also on its own. And a lot of people were asking questions. How is it like this? How is it like this? And people, mainstream audiences were starting to understand that parang, okay, it's its own thing. Yeah. And then people are realizing, okay, DC is starting to make movies na not
Wasn't
necessarily
Logan though?
True.
yeah,
Also-
well, yeah. But Logan isn't in the Marvel universe. It's Fox, universe. This one's in
But the
DC.
whole Fox X-Men universe was also
Yeah.
like really confusing na rin at that time, I guess.
Yeah, that was very confusing. Then again, yeah.
Anyway.
Rest in peace, Fox Marvel. So Fox Marvel X-Men universe. We hope New Mutants is okay as the last offering. Emil, Francis, and Gren.
For me, I'm
Wait,
very.
Francis, we can't hear you. I see you
Gren
moving your
nagsasalita.
lips. No, I see Francis moving his lips, but I can't hear him.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, you're on mute. Oh, no.
I think
We'll be back
your,
after this commercial.
your mic.
We'll just cut this out na lang, Cholo.
So we can say whatever we want.
Wala
Can't
pa
hear you,
rin.
Francis.
Sorry.
Oh.
Maybe,
Just type it all down and I'll read it in your voice.
Is there time for him to leave and then rejoin? Or
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. What's happening?
I thought you were gonna leave first. I just.
Wala pa rin.
We
Wala.
can't hear you, Francis. I think
No.
No. You can
You can
like,
rejoin.
end the call and then
Rejoin.
come back.
Oh, don't say
And
bye.
then come back.
Yeah, come back. Oh, okay. He just never comes back.
Ay, nako, Francis.
That was Francis, guys. Thank you.
we were classmates in like grade 4, grade 2, or whatever. We were classmates a few times in grade school. Yeah,
Wow.
I kind of grew up with them. Yeah,
All of you guys are AHS, right?
Yeah, but I met Emil in high school already.
yeah. Dren's a different.
And I didn't really meet Cholo either. We weren't friends or anything for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a girl,
We-
so I didn't go to Ateneo
Weirdly-
till
I
college.
forget where I met Francis, but I think I met Francis before I met Emil. I just don't remember how.
Francis just seems like that kind of guy, though.
With that height, you'll see him. The whole,
You'll see him
the
anywhere.
hallway. It's like
Like you can't
Hey.
lose Francis.
It's you, that guy.
Hello, Francis.
Does it work? Does it work?
Francis?
Yes, it's working.
Yes, but where's your camera? Oh, there it is. All right. Cool. So, sorry, that was me backtracking. How do we
Francis,
clap
can
or
you
anything?
speak?
Yeah, can we hear?
Yep. Hello.
I still
Wala
can't
na
hear
naman
him.
siya.
No.
Can you try not
Maybe
using
you
your
can remove your
earphones?
earphones.
Sorry, I think in my head you just off his ear.
There.
Yeah, we can hear you
Hello?
now.
I'm back.
Oh,
Finally.
Yes.
there,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
You're Dren.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, who goes first, Dren or Francis?
Ben was in the middle of something. Sorry.
Okay, Dren, you go ahead then.
I was just gonna say that I've been saying this for 7 years since Man of Steel came out. You know, it's coming. It's just you wait. It's getting there. You know, that meme of like Charlie Day gesturing to a bunch of strings and the pictures.
Yeah,
That's
like
me,
that.
but just like that's me, but with like different teasers of the DC fandom. Just like it's one of these has gotta be a hit.
I'm imagining your face on the meme.
Yeah. I have a very good like crazy person face. So yeah, that's just me. Like, and you know, in my mind, I'm just like, it. Come on, man! Like you guys, like you can't possibly mess this up. You know, like I'm at that point where I'm like, it's genuinely. I feel like I could do a better job than the executives at the DC world because I just
Wow.
give money. I
Wow.
just give money to
Confidence.
the directors and just be like, "Yo,
Warner Brothers award.
here, watch all 30 plus animated movies and do it like this.
It's
That's all you need to do."
Literally just do what the animated films are doing, please.
So yeah, that's where I am. Please lang.
Well, hello. Can you
Yes,
hear
we
me?
can hear you.
Okay. Well, I was just trying to say that a while ago. I feel like DC is at least doing better than Fox is doing. So I don't know if that's saying
Yeah.
much.
Fox
Agreed
isn't
on that.
existing
Dead now.
anymore. FYI.
It's just 20th Century Studios now.
Pretty
Yeah,
dead now.
I feel like that's definitely something. I mean, honestly, Marvel's pretty hard competition to have to stand up to. So you know, they're still taking their best shot at it. I feel like it's been echoed throughout the entire chat that you know they really should just focus on what they think will work for them, not so much what's working for Marvel and just trying to copy it. Seems like it's working. Great point about how we do need to sort of maybe align the timeline somehow, maybe with Flash, so that people aren't as confused, like the casuals aren't super wondering about why there's so many actors playing the same person. Sorry, same character. So yeah, I feel like in so far that it's not quite on the level of Marvel yet. That's also like where my excitement is. I mean, even though I'm pretty excited for the Batman movie, it's you know there've been so many Batman movies already. So like, let's see what they can do different. Because I mean, exciting, sure, but it did look a lot like sort of the same tone that we'd expect, which is not necessarily bad, but let's see. So there.
Awesome.
Emil,
Emil went after
I
you.
spoke.
ka pala.
well,
Oops.
grabe.
Thanks, Cholo.
Idol ko talaga si Emil eh. So,
Shut up.
I just want to hear him again.
He wants you to close it. He wants to hear your voice to close
No,
it.
I think didn't Richard not speak it?
No, dude, I was building on your
okay.
point.
Oh my God.
I was building on your point.
Yeah,
We're on
it
different
was like to
timelines,
Emil's
guys.
point.
We're on different
Multiverse.
timelines.
it's the
Different
multiverse.
timeline.
Cholo's having trouble controlling his like you know the different green screens he has of you guys. We're all not here, guys. It's just Cholo talking to himself.
He just edited everything together.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the Flash. I guess final wish ko lang more Green Lantern
Yes!
material because Green
Okay.
Lantern is my second favorite after Flash, and we haven't really seen anything aside from the announced HBO Max series of Green Lantern. So I mean, I'm still like team. Where is Green Lantern in the Justice League, and why is Cyborg there still?
Because it's the
Wow.
new Justice League.
I know, but I'm still really not the new 52 Justice League type guy.
I get it.
But I guess we really grew up with Hawk Girl or slash Hawk Man and
I want Martian
Martian
Manhunter.
Manhunter. Yeah.
I mean, Arrowverse has him, but not enough.
They do.
So,
Yeah.
You think I should get back
Yeah,
into it?
Supergirl.
I didn't.
yes.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty much it. More Green Lantern, please.
Yes.
And now we head to our last segment of the show, which is the pop stop and closing as we leave the multiverse, which has been pretty fun. Now we talk about our pop culture recommendations for this week or anything we wanna talk about non-DC or DC related that we wanna suggest. I'm just gonna go ahead and start because I haven't really been consuming as much new material. I'm just gonna say happy 5th anniversary to Emotion, and if you haven't listened to it, go listen to Emotion.
All roads lead back
One
to
of the
Carly
best
Rae
albums
as well.
We are celebrating our feast day, fifth feast day as Iglesia ni Carly with and the bonus tracks that were previously not on Spotify or any other streaming platforms are out. So celebrate that and listen to those tracks on wherever you stream your music. Hashtag Emotion 50th anniversary. We love you so much, Carly Rae.
Dasal talaga. I could go next. I've been watching a lot of anime again recently, something I haven't, like new series, at least for me. And I really, really loved Demon Slayer. It's on Netflix.
Ooh.
Yes. The animation is amazing. It's like so captivating to watch. And this
Amazing.
Eh. And the storyline itself is really, really good. I can't explain it without like spoiling the first episode, but it's fantastic. My dad and I have taken to watching it almost every night, and it's great.
Ooh.
There's only one season so far, so if you guys like are afraid of those really long animes like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and all of those, this is a pretty good anime to start with. It's pretty palatable and really fun. I mean, my dad likes it, so that says a lot about what, like, the audience that it can captivate. And I just bought. I'm sure some of you have played Jackbox Party games,
Oh.
online games. Yeah.
We should play. Oh, God.
Yes.
I love.
I bought like 5 packs, so I
Oh my
am
God.
down. So yeah, I started playing with my friends just a few days ago, and it's such a good way to bond with like the people that are important to you, even though you're apart. It's so good, and yeah, just find ways to keep interacting with each other, so we just don't feel
Yes.
so alone.
We stand purchases on this show.
Cholo is my biggest like enabler.
Yes. Self-promotion na rin, watch my feature on Cosmo Philippines. I got
Ooh, Cosmo boy.
I'm a Cosmo boy.
Candy cutie.
Also for fans of Demon Slayer, or anyone else to get into it, if you want to read the manga's finished as well. So if you don't want to wait for
Oh
the
really?
anime, yeah, it just finished 2 months ago, something like that, very recently. Yeah.
Is Demon Slayer also the same anime? I think that Uniqlo's releasing shirts for
I think.
Slayer.
Yeah, I
right?
think so.
Yes.
They
Very
look
on brand for you, friends.
No, but I mean, I have no idea what Demon Slayer is about aside from maybe demons and slaying them. I mean, the designs of that, like that specific new design that they're going to release look really good. Like I want to
Yeah.
buy it, even though I don't know anything about that.
You should watch the anime. It
Yeah,
says a
yeah.
lot about like how good the animation is itself, that the designs are that good also.
Okay.
The anime,
Put
like
that on my list.
animation is so good. It's so different from a lot of typical animes. So,
Okay.
all right,
Okay.
who wants to go next?
I feel like
Okay.
I
then
can.
Go ahead.
It's Dren and me talking over each other.
No.
I know. Sorry, Cholo's like messing up his thing.
Timeline.
You're both tall and you have nice hair. It's okay.
Thanks.
Go, Dren.
Oh, okay. Me. So I'm gonna recommend a couple movies and some songs that are very familiar, but I only recently realized like how good they were. So the 2 films I'm gonna recommend are 2 films that I watched back to back. They're directed by the same person named Don Han, and he was a producer at Disney for majority of the Renaissance period of Disney, and he made two documentaries about his, them basically reviving Disney from, because the golden age happened and then it was kind of in this rut for a really long time and then the Renaissance finally came. So the first film is called Waking Sleeping Beauty, and it's just about the general, like all of the movies that were there who were a part of making what do you call this, the Renaissance happen, the Disney Renaissance happen. And the second movie, again also directed by him almost 10 years later, is called Howard, and it's about one of the songwriters of the Disney Renaissance, and he wrote Part of Your World. He wrote a lot of the songs in Beauty and the Beast, so he's like a legend in the Disney world. And he unfortunately passed away before Beauty and the Beast even came out, because he was an AIDS victim. And it's just crazy to me that, like, why doesn't Disney talk about this, and why don't they have more characters that are LGBTQ plus if one of the guys that wrote like some of their most iconic songs was a gay man. And I think after watching the documentary, it's safe to say that, like, he was the one that made those movies from good to great. Because in the documentary, he talks about how when he was writing Part of Your World, they wanted to initially remove the song. They didn't want Part of Your World to be in Little Mermaid. And he was like, it has to be in there because this is the song that encompasses like the entire movie. So he was kind of this guy that advocated that musical theater, is a serious genre and should be considered as such, and Disney shouldn't take it so lightly. The songs and everything, it's not just like fluff, it's important, integral to the movies. So that I really loved watching both of those, so catch that. And the two songs I'm going to recommend are the two themes from Haikyuu and Boku no Hero, which are composed by the same person, if you didn't know. That's why both of the soundtracks of those two series are so hype. The song from Haikyuu is called Above. It's the song that plays whenever they're about to spike the ball. It's just, oh my god, just want to cry every time I hear it. And the other song is called oh my god, why am I blanking? Oh my god,
Which opening is it? Which opening?
Vibrate.
It's the second
hand like a flash. Like, think about it.
Oh my god. Why? What? Brain, please. You say run. Oh my god. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Run, yeah. And there are, both of those have an orchestra version on YouTube, because the composer recently had his 10th anniversary concert. Yuki Hayashi? Yeah, Yuki Hayashi had his 10th anniversary concert. So he played all of the themes from all of his anime. And both songs, there's a meme apparently that happened when he had this concert where people would just put "You Say Run" to like the most random things, like news footage and whatever, and it works with anything. It gets me so hype. I'm watching this storm chaser battling wind to get data for the weather, and they put "You Say Run" on top of it, and I'm like, oh my god, you can do it, weatherman! You can do it, storm chaser! So I've been listening to both songs as I've recently gotten into exercising, and I just want to scream plus ultra.
Oh yeah.
Whenever I exercise, so super duper good. Check it out.
Is this a song that plays whenever they're about to go to like a super big battle? And
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's really good. All my
Cholo and his first anime.
yes, my first anime as an adult. Watch My Hero Academia. Ako rin, actually, I have to add a song lang din pala. I remembered that I really like Katy Perry's new single, Smile. It's just really such a feel-good song that makes me feel like Katy Perry's back. And congrats, Katy Perry,
Congrats
for
to her. Yeah.
to her
Their
baby.
daughter.
And Smile is just really fun. I feel like in a world like this, you just need like a feel good pick me up, and that's a really great song. Parang early Katy Perry bubbly days, and it's just really fun. The music video is really great, has really great animation as well. So go watch that.
Oh, sorry, super probable because you mentioned feel good. I would be amiss to say to not mention Dynamite by BTS.
Yes,
Oh yeah, it was really good.
It's a
And I'm
it's
not-
a really good song.
justice for Jin though.
What he like the second? Okay, never mind. We'll talk about
No,
this
he
later.
doesn't.
Anyway. Francis?
Something I've really been like just spending so much hours of my life on. It's just pretty much any content that is about The Last of Us. I don't know if you guys.
Have you played the
Amanamin by
second?
The Last of Us. Joke.
Okay.
What?
I know. Yeah, I know. What you're
Yeah,
talking
that was good. Have you played the second game? Have you finished it?
Yeah,
Oh, we'll talk about it after that. It's a lot of fun.
I don't know. I mean, like, it's not exactly the happiest thing you can do to yourself during
That's
this
very true.
quarantine. But I'm just, mega fan. I'm just a mega fan of what they're doing with The Last of Us. So yeah, I mean, I can't really recommend it because again, it's not the kindest thing you can do to yourself.
Play the first one. I mean, if there's
That's
any.
what- yeah.
Play the first one. My brother got the Ellie edition for the second one.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy. I saw
Really
what.
cost some money for that. Okay.
it was his graduation gift naman.
Congrats, Mr. Summa Cum Laude. Summa ba?
Cum laude.
Cum Laude. Sorry. Richard.
I haven't also been consuming a lot of media recently, but I did stumble across because last year it was the 50th anniversary of Abbey Road by the Beatles, and
This vinyl boy.
so yes, and then I found out that there was a 2019 re-release of the album for the 50th anniversary, and they not remixed, but they mastered and mixed the
Remastered?
songs. They not remastered it. They remixed it, but not in the sense na they DJ'd it up or
EDM.
anything. Yeah. They just edited the sounds of it a bit, and so listening to the 2019 mix, you just find new appreciation for the songs. So like if you have the time, listen to it on Spotify in like very high quality, put your headphones on, and you just discover new stuff about a lot of the songs there. And a lot of my favorite songs from the Beatles came from that album. Something, Here Comes the Sun. Yeah. So
Here
something you guys
comes
should check
the,
out.
EDM mix.
No. Oh my God, no.
Fat beat.
Do not do that.
Sasaktan si Richard.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
What's it called exactly? On
29,
50th edition.
yeah, 50th
is
anniversary
it
edition.
Super
I think.
Deluxe edition, remastered.
The songs have the word 2019 mixed to it. That's what I'm sure of. So, yeah, wait.
Yeah,
let me
I
check.
joke. 2009 kasi itong nakikita ko eh.
Not 2009, 2019 mixed.
Yeah.
So it literally says, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Super Deluxe edition. If
Yeah,
you're
there you
looking for
go.
it on streaming platforms.
There you go. Thanks.
And
And
last,
then, yeah, I'll mention a couple of HBO shows that I think are worth checking out. I'm surprised Dren didn't mention this first one. There's a new horror drama out called Lovecraft Country.
Oh yeah.
It's
Because I knew you would. No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
and I was waiting for you. Anyway.
Oh,
you know,
so
it's crazy,
sweet.
but we finished each other.
Anyway, so Lovecraft Country is based on a novel which is in turn based on the lore of H.P. Lovecraft, who, if you don't know, created Cthulhu and all that. And he was also notoriously very racist. So what Lovecraft
What was his
Country
cat's
does-
name, Emil?
His
What was his
cat.
cat's name?
What?
Oh no, you don't know? Okay, never mind. I'll say it
Oh,
after.
That
a
Richard
joke?
was talking about.
Oh.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know that. Anyway, so the show is about a group of African American men and women in the 1950s, I think, in America, as they begin to encounter like lots of weird supernatural horror things next to all the racism that's been happening. And 2 episodes in, and it's absolutely ridiculous and insane. Like I have no idea where they're going with it. And I think it's worth mentioning that the show is developed by a Black woman named Misha Green. So she's behind all this stuff. The next show I would mention, since we're talking about DC, in my opinion, easily like the best DC screen thing that I've ever seen since The Dark Knight is Watchmen from 2019.
Oh yeah.
I think now is like the best time to get into it, just because the Emmys are coming up and it's leading the Emmy nominations. All this DC fandom stuff has sort of reignited interest in DC properties, and given everything that's been happening in America, Watchmen has become super timely because it's not just like a superhero story. It's barely that, actually. It's really about police brutality and generational trauma and how the police are a racist organization and whatnot. So super, super cool. It's only 9 episodes long. So yeah, check that out.
And that is it for our Pop Stop for the week and our DC Fandome episode. I had a lot of fun, and I hope we have more
Yeah.
DC episodes coming our way with the 4-part Justice League podcast series
No.
upcoming. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Of course, all our episodes are streaming everywhere on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you stream your podcast. Of course, we're also on Radyo Katipunan 87.9. Thank you so much to RK Fam, and happy second anniversary to the RK Fam.
Yay.
We hope to see more from you guys. And of course, we're also on social media at Popcorn with Cholo. That's at Popcorn W Cholo on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So let us know if you want to see topics or people we want to talk to on the show. Of course, do recommend the show to a friend if you can, so we have more fun as we talk about all the geeky stuff we love and do not love at the same time. So thank you so much, Paula, Richard, Dren, Emil, and Francis for being here. And see you all next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 See ya.
Paula's
This is your stop for all things pop. Catch our all-around pop culture geek, Cholo Sediaren, as he throws in some dose of what's poppin' and what's hot in the pop culture scene here on Popcorn. Munch in with us every Thursdays from 4 to 6, only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.